Last week, we showed you part one of our conversation with soon-to-be retired ABAC President Dr. David Bridges. This week, in part two of our interview, Dr. Bridges discusses his longevity at ABAC and what his final days at the college may look like, or at least what he hopes they may look like.
16 years as the president, longest serving tenure of all the 26 Georgia institutions. I am sure, I would pretty much bet my next paycheck on it, that over the years you have had people come up to you, David, why don't you come work for us? Yeah. But yet you stayed. Yes. What kept you coming back?
Well, I love the institution. My heart's here. I started here. I got 2 degrees at Auburn and 1 degree at Texas A&M, and I spent 20 years at UGA. So I got lots of places that I can have loyalties, but my real loyalties lie right here. I mean, they're at ABAC. Number 2, I don't, not to brag, but I think I've been a pretty good fit for the institution. I'm an agriculturalist, a rural guy, and that's who we are. And so I think I've been a good fit. And yes, I've had other opportunities, and just decided that this one was the one I would continue to do.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that's so impressive about you is, yes, you have done so much for ABAC, but you've also done so much for Georgia agriculture in general. Where does that passion for the industry come from?
Well, it is the #1 industry in the state. I've often said, and I still believe this is true, I find it harder these days to sell it with the demographic shifts that have occurred in the state. But I've always said that as goes agriculture in the state of Georgia, there goes the state. There's no doubt about it that the metro Atlanta area drives much of the economy of the state, the commercial economy. But still, the fact is agriculture is the #1 business in the state. You know, I heard Tom McCall, this is interesting, now Georgia Farm Bureau president, say a long time ago, he made a presentation, and he says this wasn't original to him, but it's certainly not original to me. He said there are 5 things required for life. I don't know if you've heard this, but food, clothing, and shelter, air, and water. And Tom's statement was God gives you 2 and the farmer gives you the other 3. And so I just think somebody has to stand up for agriculture, forestry, and rural communities. And when we lose them, it's going to be a sad day.
So now the toughest question of all, the final and toughest question. That day comes, you open that notebook, you put that piece of paper in there, you put that pen down for the last time, you close that notebook, you walk over to that light switch, you hit that light switch, you close that door behind you to your office. Have you thought about that moment?
Not really. Thinking about what you just said, my office has an automatic light switch, so I don't have to turn the lights off. And my door has never been closed and locked. In fact, it drives lots of people crazy that I don't lock my office. Now the suite gets locked, but I don't lock my office. I said, why don't you lock your office? I said, there is nothing in my office that anybody wants. Anything that would, create consternation for the institution or myself or get somebody fired or sent to prison or whatever, it ain't in my office anyway.
I've seen some pretty cool memorabilia in there, though.
Oh, there's some cool memorabilia in there, but if you want it, take it. I mean, an ideal scenario, and probably the odds of this happening are not very good, but it could happen, is that the system finds the next president, interviews the president, and at some point I have the opportunity to shake the person's hand and figuratively or literally hand them the keys and say, welcome to ABAC, it's yours, I'll stay out of your way. See ya.
Well, I know I'm not going to be the first to shake your hand or the last, but I still want to shake your hand.
It's been fun.
Thank you for all you've done for ABAC. Thank you for all you've done for Georgia agriculture in general. and for us here at the Farm Monitor as well.
Yep. Well, thank you. Thank you for Georgia Farm Bureau's support of ABAC and our mission. And we do share a lot of common interest and goals, and I hope that will continue on for many years to come.